both crossovers. But you match the two, I'd be shocked, shocked to lose money with that. Really, really shocked. So hopefully you find value in this, because when I saw how linked everything was in the crypto space, that there wasn't really much differentiation. I mean, in all other markets that I've ever traded, there's been tremendous differentiation. No, not yet, Bill. It's going to be introduced. It's going to be introduced. Jerry, it's actually more or less an hourly movement. The reason I say that is because you can change the scale here and do a bunch of things up here that I'm not going to bother with right now, but you can change it somewhat. So that's why it's 20 positions, 50 positions, 100 positions. That scales with how much you're looking at. But the general point isn't so much. I mean, basically, if you're a trader at that rate and you want hours, I would even go with a minute scale. But I'm not doing minute scale. I am updating. I think every 3 minutes or 4 minutes. I'm using Python. I'm using Python and a couple of other things, but I'm using Python. Yeah, I do almost everything in Python. I can code in a bunch of things, but I love Python. I love Python. I don't have to do memory management or all kinds of other stuff that I have to do in C++. And Java's great. JavaScript can work, but I just like Python. I like Python a lot. So, all right, well, that's that. There will be a only CryptoShark at this point, okay? At this point is getting the full package of the 3 coins, and I don't want to make this a sales pitch or anything right now. The 3 coins for the day or something, and then the 3 coins for the week. Only with that total macro chart. With that total macro chart. Bill, you just go to coinpicker.us, and for right now, I'm not charging for my weekly updates, but you just click on that green button, you just click on that. And I used to send out the top 10 coins, but then I realized, you know what? In this market right now, I still do it occasionally, but I have to make sure that we're in an upward trend, because most people they don't have the ability or the time or whatever to get in and out as quickly as you would need to on a lot of the coins. But now at an upward trend, it's a little easier. But that's all you do, Bill, right there. So yeah, Litecoin. Let's go to TradingView and see what it does, and then I'm going to bust into coin of the day, coin mastery for VeChain. That is a down signal with the total market as they're crossing the 20-day down. Yeah, I mean, right now we are. Right now we're in a down signal. I haven't looked at BTC. I'm about to get into it, so let me take a look at it really quickly. Oh, darn it. You know what? Let's do it on this one because I'm already signed in here. Let's do it on this one. Actually, yeah. Yeah, it's a mile down. It's a mile down. We don't have a real confirmation yet with the 20 moving below the 50, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's not too far away. Let's just take a look at BTC right now to USD and see what it's doing. But I have to say, thus far, I mean, it's played out pretty well as I had put out in public. That we were going, and that was by the way when everybody was running for the hills. Both Jonathan and I came out and said, "Oh no, we're in for a big bounce." Everybody was running for the hills. All right, so on a weekly basis, let's start with the daily basis. Yeah, it looks like well, this is still downtrending, so that could trend out. It looks like we're headed upwards in the CCI. We're nowhere near overbought. We are at basically an overbought level in the balance of power, but the balance of power doesn't work quite like that. Balance of power suggests that the buyers are more in control. EFI, gosh, EFI is really interesting. It hasn't crossed over yet into buyers in control. So sellers are still in control, but losing control. That's interesting. And we're still on, I got to tell you, I am somewhat suspicious of the TradingView indicators and charts. They are not responding at a level that I would have expected. I need to verify these. Yeah, Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Jerry. That's literally how it seems to behave. But I'm not. This particular stochastic RSI is not behaving like I would have expected. I would have expected it to be far more up, far probably in this range. But that is not an oversold situation, and the EFI is still not buyers in control. So that means that while the buyers are gaining on the sellers, we still have sellers primarily in control. We are attempting to reunite with the EMA, but we've been down below the EMA for a while. I would say this looks more like a trending market than it does a snapback or a immediate jump higher. Because, yeah, the CCI is nowhere near overbought, so it definitely has upside. It was way oversold, which is one of the reasons why I said we've got a definite bounce coming. Balance of power definitely puts is towards the buyers by far. But EFI, sellers are losing, but they still are in control, which is, the EFI, in a relatively healthy market, that line up here is right about there. Right about there. We skewed dramatically down to the underside of the EFI. Basically we have some upside potential. We have definitely some upside potential, but it doesn't look raging at all. Put it that way. So I would say trending to upside bias. And let's take, that's actually what it's showing. On a weekly basis, we're trending. However, the CCI the CCI on a weekly basis almost looks like it's about to reverse, if I had to guess. Because we had a downtrend, we're flattening, and it almost looks like it's about to reverse. Balance of power confirms that. EFI also confirms that. And stochastic RSI on a weekly suggests we are overextended. Yeah, I would stick with that. I would say trending to upside. That's what appears to me to be the case. Yeah, Jerry. So you're on the same. That's my opinion at this point. I have to analyze it more carefully, but that's basically what I would say. And let's see. Okay, so finally, I'm going to get to what I'm supposed to do today. How about that? Shocking. Today we are going to talk about VeChain, and it's going to sound disturbingly like one of my favorite applications or projects called Walton. But it's got a different background, a different approach, and they're not as far ahead. So I don't know if everybody else reads this. I think I have to because of the fact that these get distributed, but I'm going to just go through it. Day trading, short-term trading, options trading, and futures trading are extremely risky undertakings. They generally are not appropriate for someone with limited capital, limited or no trading experience, and or a low tolerance for risk. Amen on that last one. Never execute a trade unless you can afford to and are prepared to lose your entire investment. All trading operations involve serious risk, and you can lose your entire investment. No trades or recommendations or advice, and we cannot get sued for loss of your capital. All trades are for educational purposes only. Contact your broker or RAI for execution, merger, and other capital requirements. Everyone watching the presentation adheres to all disclaimers at Option Hacker and cryptoshark.com. Okay, we've got that out of the way. So I am long VeChain. I think VeChain is doing the right things, but I do not hold a position. I have traded it in and out, but I do not hold a position. In fact, right now I don't hold any significant position in a lot of projects. I am waiting for a couple of signals before I jump in. And I could have jumped in before with a 20% bounce, but bluntly, I was so busy doing some other things, especially in the development world, that I didn't even have time to really catch it. But the team behind VeChain is, it's a little, they kind of hit it a little bit. I had to find. Yeah, that's a good point, Grant. That's a good point. We'll talk a little bit about where that comes from. But that's my assessment. That is my assessment on Walton versus VeChain. Other people, there's definitely a legitimate debate to be had about that. But that's indicative of some of the squirrely behavior of the market. And it's a really good point. So anyway, the VeChain Foundation is relatively late in the cycle. VeChain was actually founded probably in 2015 or earlier. They're not clear on that, and their website is relative. I consider their website weak. So I could not get into the VeChain Foundation website. That is super serious to me. Extremely serious that I can't access what is apparently their corporate structure website. They have some open source. They do not like, for instance, when I go here to, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so on Litecoin, we can go to the source code. 465 contributors. 9 days ago. You know, some of the stuff is, a lot of this stuff is core. Litecoin's in a position where it can't change its code easily. Cannot. If it does, lots of people will have issues. So they have to be very careful. But they have a number of contributors, a truckload of commits. That is just bank solid. Now, we go and check out, and I don't need that anymore. We check out VeChain, and you'll see that there is no access for source code here. So I said, all right, fine. Let's just see if something's going on under the hood that they don't want, you know, to link to. That's not what I meant. This is what I meant. I already went and checked the site out. I go to GitHub, and next to nothing. One contributor 3 months ago. So not a lot of activity. And this tells me that this is kind of a dead GitHub. It's a dead area. So it's safe to say that it had a little open source early on, but it is no longer open source. It's private, and that's important. That's important to note. For that matter, I'll bet you Walton is also private. It should be. So private code currently. Now they are part of. This is where Grant, to answer your question, I think this is where they're deriving a lot of their value. They were part of PricewaterhouseCoopers' incubator program. So that immediately levitates them above 99% of the other projects because they came out of a well-respected, large, well-funded operation, an incubator. That's big. That's now apparently the company that they're and I might not have the complete URL, but their site, their main site, Bitsy, which is the business. So you have an incubator. The business in the incubator's name was Bitsy, B-I-T-S-E, which I'm guessing is like Bitcoin Southeast Asia or something like that. That site either doesn't exist because I looked it up, or it won't open up. Another huge marketing issue. The CEO is Sunny Liu. CEO of Bitsy doesn't matter too much to me. CIO of Louis Vuitton China, that is a big deal. And IT Bacardi, very substantial. This is probably where they're getting the bulk of their market value grant. Cornman? I don't know what you're talking about. Conman? Cornman? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to get too distracted. I'm really not sure. Oh, my website.